Zamfara State House of Assembly to partner with Standard Voice Television in building the state. The Zamfara State House of Assembly to review internally generated revenue loss in the state. NCDC announces 5 new cases of COVID-19, totaling 323 in Nigeria. On business, federal government urged to adopt policies to save the naira. And on the international scene, Moscow launches digital travel permits under lockdown. Hello viewers, welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. Zamfara State House of Assembly has on Sunday pledged to partner with the Standard Voice Television in educating and entertaining the general public on its effort to ensure the provision of the dividends of democracy in the state. The Speaker of the State Assembly, Alhaji Nasiru Mazu Magaria, made the pledge when he visited the station. The Speaker said he was impressed by the warm reception accorded him and his entourage and the quality programs and content the station provides to its viewers and urged the management to maintain the tempo. Alhaji Magaria said he would discuss with his colleagues the modalities of helping each other between the House of Assembly and the TV station immediately after the coronavirus pandemic, which necessitated the House to go on recess in order to face the pandemic to ensure no single case is recorded in the state. He said that the establishment of the TV station by the proprietor, who happened to be an indigene of Zamfara State, is of pride to the people of the state and worthy of recommendation. He prayed for rapid growth of the station and urged the government and well-to-do individuals to assist the TV station to grow rapidly, to help the state in particular and the country in general. Speaking earlier, the chairman and chief executive officer of the TV station, Alhaji Ibrahim Dosara, welcomed the speaker to the station and expressed happiness over the speaker's quick response to the invitation to feature in the TV's daily program on the fight against COVID-19 titled Yaki de Chutar Mashako. Alhaji Dosara said the TV station was established for the benefit of Zamfara people and beyond without discrimination, saying the doors of the station were widely open to every citizen to air his or her own views, including the State Assembly. He called on the Speaker to consider himself as a leader who was called upon to serve the entire people of the state, irrespective of their political lineage, and always put fear of Allah in the discharge of his duties. He said Standard Voice Television has been actively participating in the fight against the coronavirus since the setting up of the 2 committees by the State Governor Alhaji Bello Mohammed Matawale Maradun through the production and airing of programs and jingles that have direct bearing on the current fight against the pandemic. He expressed the readiness of the TV station to work with the State Assembly in whatever capacity for the welfare and well-being of the state. The Speaker of Zamfara State House of Assembly, Alhaji Nasiru Mazu Magaria, has said on Sunday that the State Assembly is looking into the possibility of reviving the state laws on revenue generation. The Speaker dropped the hint during a Hausa Heart Talk program Gata Sarai of the Standard Voice Television in Gusau, the state capital. Alhaji Nasiru Magaria said the House was worried over the current existing IGR laws in the state, which he said did compete with the test of time. He said the essence of reviewing the state laws was to boost the state IGR, which according to him was too meager for the state, especially considering the global expectation of possible economic recession being posed by the coronavirus pandemic. The Speaker said Zamfara state revenue laws needed to be reviewed to improve the revenue base of the state to cater for needs of the state, which is backward in most all the parameters of development. He therefore urged the people of the state to give all necessary support and cooperation to the State Assembly in its effort to ensure proper ways of doing things in the state for the development of the state and well-being of the people.
abin da ke ce al'umma ko da yaushe shine
What I want to tell the people of the state is to offer prayers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the problems we are trying to solve, either at the House of Assembly or individually, I personally, first of all, seek the help of Allah before embarking on trying to solve them. Another thing is for individuals to try and help themselves by doing the necessary things. You don't have to wait for the authorities to tell you not to do something that will be harmful to you or other people around you.
The Speaker also reassured the people of the state that bill for the state law on kidnapping would soon be passed by the House to ensure adequate security and safety of people and their properties, which in turn boosts the economy of the state. He said the House was seriously concerned by the spate of banditry, kidnapping, and ritual killings in the state, and vowed to ensure that any convicted kidnapper faces death sentence. Alhaji Magaria said some of the bills had their first, second, and third readings at the plenary, having passed through the debate to address identified grey areas of the bill by the Committee of the Whole House. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control has announced 5 more confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Nigeria, bringing the total number of cases to 323. The agency made this known in a tweet on its handle yesterday. 2 of the cases were reported in Lagos, 2 in Kwara, and 1 in Katsina State. 85 cases have been discharged, while the death toll from COVID-19 in Nigeria stands at 10. A medical expert, Dr. Arun Balaganga, has urged Nigerians, especially those that have tested negative for COVID-19, to continue to take precautionary measures to avoid being infected a second time. Dr. Balaganga, the managing director of India International Health Center in Abuja, said this on Sunday in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria. NAN reports that there are 323 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Nigeria, with 70 recoveries and 10 deaths since the outbreak of the virus in the country. He said that testing negative for COVID-19 after being infected with the virus does not make the survivor's body system resistant to the pandemic. According to him, the myth that hot temperature kills coronavirus has not been proven, going by the rate of infection and transmission of the virus in Africa, particularly in Nigeria with hot climate. He said Nigeria is currently experiencing hot climate. The same with India. This disqualifies the hypothesis of relation between the temperature and coronavirus spread. Dr. Balaganga, who was a program manager primary health care in Cross River, explained that recovery from coronavirus could differ from body mechanism, just as the spread also differs because of those who are asymptomatic. The doctor urged Nigerians to always adhere to government directive on the virus, especially the lockdown order and other personal hygiene regulations. 3 Air Peace crew members reportedly disappeared from Lagos Quarantine Center. Emerging report says that 3 out of the 17 pilots and flight attendants who flew 14 Chinese medical doctors and medical supplies from China to Nigeria on Wednesday have boycotted the Lagos Quarantine Center provided by the Lagos State government. The crew, who flew Air Peace Boeing 777-200ER jumbo jet from China, landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Punch reports that the 17 pilot and flight attendant later on Wednesday proceeded to Lagos to be quarantined by the Lagos State government in line with an agreement the Ministry of Health reached with the carrier's management. The Chinese medical personnel are quarantined in Abuja. 6 houses were affected on Saturday in an explosion at Dumei Street on Benin Auchi Road in a suburb of Benin City in Opa-Oha local government area of Edo State. Residents camped to safety, but no life was lost in the incident. The explosion, as gathered by reporter, took place at number 4 Dumei Street, with the impact felt in 5 other houses in neighborhood. Some policemen quickly rushed to the area to prevent looting by hoodlums and confirm what led to the incident. One of the landlords in the area, Pastor David, whose house was also affected by the explosion, revealed that he had a bang which shattered the window panes of some of the houses. He also stated that neighbors claimed the owner of the mostly affected house, a well-known bomb maker, was testing one of the bombs in a well when the explosion suddenly occurred. It was also gathered that men of the nearby Aduwawa police station were informed of the explosion and responded quickly. They reportedly inspected the area and arrested a man, while operatives of the Edo Police Command's anti-bomb squad later arrived to ensure that everything was alright. Edo State Commissioner of Police Alhaji Lawan Jamaita confirmed the explosion on phone. He said investigation by officers and men of his command was ongoing. The Constitution of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Management Board by President Muhammadu Buhari violated the act establishing the corporation. Findings by this day have revealed. As shown in Section 2, Subsection 1, findings further reveal that the NNPC Act only recommended a 6-member board of directors, contrary to 9 members currently serving on the management of the state-owned oil corporation. Section 2, Subsection 1 stated that the affairs of the corporation shall, subject to Part 2 of this Act, be conducted by a board of directors of the corporation, which shall consist of a chairman and the other members. Evident in Section 2, Subsection 1A to C, the Act lists other members to include the Director General, Federal Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, the Managing Director of the corporation, and 3 persons to be appointed by the National Council of Ministers. The Act specifically stipulated that all the board members shall be persons who, by reasons of their ability, experience, or specialized knowledge of the oil industry or of business or professional attainment, are capable of making useful contributions to the work of the corporation. Section 3 of the Act statutorily stated that the chairman of the NNPC Board of Directors shall be a minister in the government of 1979, number 44, the Federation to be known and styled as the Minister of Petroleum Resources. Consistent with the records obtained from the official website of the corporation on Friday, 8 members were listed as members of the NNPC boards of directors, apart from the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Mr. Timipriye Silva. According to the NNPC website, the NNPC board is headed by the former NNPC GMD Dr. Thomas M.A. John and constitute 7 other members, with the disengagement of former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Dr. Ibe Kachuku. On June 27, 2019, President Buhari appointed John as the acting alternative chairman of the NNPC Board of Directors. Since Silva's appointment as Minister of State for Petroleum Resources on August 2019, the website has yet to provide information that shows Silva as the alternative chairman of the NNPC Board of Directors. The Federal Inland Revenue virtually collapsed under its previous management, its new chief has said. Alhaji Mohammed Nami, who assumed office as chairman last December, said he had to build the entire structure of the service again from scratch. This is not the first time Mr. Nami is criticizing the administration of his predecessor, Babatunde Fowler. In December, while giving his first Christmas message and felicitation to the revenue agency staff, he accused Mr. Fowler's management of superintending a steady decline in revenue collection by the service since the inception of his tenure in 2015. Alhaji Nami assumed office on December 19, 2019. In a recent interview with Premium Times and other journalists in Abuja, he said his first 100 days in office has been challenging. He also said the staff are quite excited now and willing to work harder than before because he took steps to return the functions previously given to consultants back to the staff so they can perform optimally. Upon assumption of office in August 2015, Mr. Fowler introduced the use of tax consultants in collection of tax, revenues and other services, a policy brought forward from his time as the head of the Lagos State Revenue Service. Despite the controversy that trailed the use of tax consultants to carry out services, thousands of regular FIRS staff were competent and qualified to render. Mr. Fowler sustained the policy till the end of his tenure last December. Also in August, the presidency, in a letter signed by the Chief of Staff to the President, Abakari, queried Mr. Fowler over worsening tax collection since 2015. The query indicated that in 2015, although the FIRS set a revenue target of 4.7 trillion naira, it was only able to make 3.7 trillion naira in the actual collection. Alright viewers, we're going to short commercial break, and when we come back, Standard Voice Television News continues.
That I address you today on global health emergency formerly known as COVID-19 or coronavirus. I have no outer doubt in my mind that you have all known the devastating effect of this dreaded disease to human existence, global economy and social inequalities, not only in Nigeria but world over.
Really, no element descended by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without its cure, and sometimes tested his servants with such elements due to their wrongdoings, or to test the level of their faith. The creator of earth and heaven has nowadays descended a dreaded disease on earth called COVID-19, popularly known as coronavirus, which has devastating effect to human existence, global economy and social inequalities. The catastrophe, which emanated from Far East China and spreads easily to all parts of the world, spread as fast as more than human thought. Therefore, we shall, as a matter of urgency, desist from all heinous acts and seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's forgiveness. Imbibe the culture of regular hand washing with soap or any other device. We shall distance ourselves with infected or suspected patients of the disease. Cover our mouth and nose with mask while coughing or sneezing. Don't touch your mouth, nose, eyes with unwashed hands. Know your status by allowing health workers test your body temperature with thermometer or any device at strategic places. Report yourself or your family members to any nearest hospital when feeling fatigue, headache, dry cough, difficulty in breathing, or contact the following health personnel at their following numbers: Dr. Ibrahim Halilu, Director Public Health and Disease Control, 080-3562-6731, or Dr. Rabi Usman, State Coordinator, Epidemiologist, 080-3516-1538, or Zamfara State Coordinator, World Health Organization, 080-6540-8696. Dr. Bibi Olowa, Permanent Secretary, Zamfara State Ministry of Health, 081-0500-9888. Commissioner for Health, Alhaji Yahya Muhammad Kanoma, 080-6507-5385, or call Nigerian Center for Disease Control on toll-free line 080-0970-00010. Let us put all hands on deck by being compliant with all government directives, bans, and calls, such as state borders closure, social gatherings, as well as call on cash or materials donations to the Task Force Committee on the Prevention and Control of Coronavirus for distribution to people in the state to cushion the effect of this bad fortune.
Traditional religious community leaders, members of the public are advised to follow the guidelines being given by experts on the media to ensure that we remain safe.
This message is from the chairman of the subcommittee on publicity, mobilization and sensitization, and also Commissioner of Information, Alhaji Suleiman Tuno Anka, on behalf of the chairman, main committee, Zamfara State Task Force for the Prevention and Control of Coronavirus, also Speaker, Zamfara State House of Assembly, Alhaji Nasiru Maazu Magaria.
Welcome back. Let me quickly take you to our business desk for the business update.
Hello there, welcome to Business Updates. AS global oil prices continue to nosedive with the attendant efforts of glut in the crude oil markets. Experts have called on the federal government to implement policies that will save the country's currency in order for it to remain afloat. Prof. Akpan Ekpo, Director General, West African Institute for Financial and Economic Management, Waifam, in a chat with The Nation, noted that the government should move fast with implementation of policies that will curb currency crisis. Prof. Ekpo stated that with the coronavirus pandemic ravaging the world, more pressure is mounting on the naira, adding that inflation has already set in. He said to save the naira, government should make cutting down the country's debt, servicing allocation, which they failed to reduce. They should cut it and go for a renegotiation with the creditors on how to pay the debt. The financial expert said the creditors should give the country some concession and the government may negotiate for more years to pay. In his own submission, Dr. Muda Yusuf, the Director General of Lagos Chamber for Commerce and Industry, LCCI, said that the only way to reduce exchange rate volatility was to diversify the economy in a sustainable way, saying that three critical factors including quality and infrastructure policy as well as monetary policy are crucial to get the key parameter right. The monetary policy, for instance, should be designed to drive domestic investment through a moderation of monetary tightening stance for the CBN. This is needed to moderate interest rates in the economy. And that's all on the business updates. I am Foze Ibrahim. Have a nice day.
And on the international scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin meets with members of the working group for amending the constitution in Moscow on February 26, 2020. Moscow authorities are launching a digital permit system to control people's movement after warning the coronavirus outbreak has put a huge strain on hospitals. A website to apply for the process was working Monday for people traveling by car or public transport. The permit system, which will be operational from Wednesday, may be expanded to monitor people going out even within their local neighborhood if needed, authorities said. City authorities had planned to assign Muscovite scannable barcodes to check whether people adhere to strict isolation rules, but that sparked huge controversy. People would have had to apply for QR code from officials online each time they wanted to leave their homes. The plan was eventually dropped in favor of the digital passes. Muscovites are only allowed to leave their homes to walk their dogs, take out trash and visit their nearest shop or pharmacy. Russia has declared 15,770 cases of the coronavirus and 130 fatalities, though the actual numbers are believed to be much higher. The densely populated capital with more than 12 million residents have emerged at the epicenter of the contagion with 10,158 cases and 72 deaths. Moscow have been under lockdown since March 30th, but it is struggling to cope with the influx of new patients, and officials said that clinics were approaching their limit. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State House of Assembly to partner with Standard Voice Television in building the state. The Zamfara State House of Assembly to review internally generated revenue laws in the state. NCDC announces 5 new cases of COVID-19, totaling 323 in Nigeria. On business, federal government urged to adopt policies to save the naira. And on the international scene, Moscow launches digital travel permit under lockdown. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garuba. To now, I still remain Musa Joy Uniola. Stay tuned.